Guys, gals, and pals, welcome back to Paint and Talk episode 26. I gotta say, I know I say it almost every episode at this point, but just saying the number that we're on gets crazier and crazier every day, and I really don't know why. 26 isn't that much, all things considered, but it feels like a lot, I've said it before in some videos, but I really encourage, if you have any sort of, opportunity in your life to do something that requires consistent daily, like a streak going, I totally recommend it to everyone. There are a few things that have been as crazy to me as doing things like that, whether it's small or big, and I mean small or big as in the amount of time it takes. Whether it's as big as how much can I keep up a daily streak of running or going to the gym. Something like this does take a fair bit of time on the front end of things for sure. But it can also be small things, for me, journaling has been one of them. And journaling takes maybe 15 minutes a day at most, as long as you keep it relatively short. And I mean, today I hit, the reason I'm thinking about all this especially is today I hit journal number 690 because I number them at the beginning of them. And I don't know, just it's crazy being wow, I've done this for 690 days. Life is weird in that it's so long term, but also so short term, right? Everything, you get small 24-hour blocks that make up larger, 30-day periods that make up year periods, and those year periods make up periods of your life, and it makes things really weird because you kind of just lose your concept of time. You look at things either as really big, what am I doing these next years of my life, whether that be I'm entering my career, I'm in college, I'm finishing college, or you look at things smaller in terms of what am I doing right now? Who am I with right now? And both are valid, but it makes it so you lose track of time, I feel like, a lot of the time. So doing something that's wow, for 690 days of my life, for almost a full 2 years at this point, I have journaled every single day, or I have gone to the gym every single day. It just shows of there's been growth in that period. There's been XYZ. I don't know. I fully recommend it, but either way, that was a very long sidebar to start off today's episode. I hope that wasn't too annoying. As always, the drill. I hope you guys have had an amazing 24 hours since the last time I've seen you. Actually, I guess I haven't had the best 24 hours, so I guess I'll say I hope you had a solid 24 hours. I don't want you doing better than me, because that's just kind of sad at that point. So, I hope you did about as well as I did these last 24 hours. No, jokes aside, I did actually have a great day since the last time you've seen me. I was a little bit thrown off, actually, because I went to the diner with some friends this morning, and I don't usually hang out with friends first thing in the morning, 8:30 a.m. It's a Saturday. When I'm recording this, you'll be seeing it on Sunday. And I think that threw me off a little bit for sure, because you're just tired and I said grired and toggy. That was crazy, but I was about to say that at least. But you're groggy and tired after that. So I definitely have had a little bit of an off day, but it's been good nonetheless, and that's what matters. You know what I mean? Today I want to talk about something a little bit lighter than the last couple of episodes. I partially because I still am a little bit tired. I'm recording this, by the way, the latest I've ever recorded a Paint and Talk. This is 8:54 p.m. right now that I'm recording this at. I'm not a military guy that has the time memorized. I have a clock right there. That's why I know that. I don't. That'd be crazy if I had a sundial right next to me or something. But yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock. That's really late to be recording this for me. Usually I'm running out of energy by now. So I'm motivated to do something a little lighter today, topic-wise. It might even be a bit of a short episode, which I don't want to do because there's been 2 short episodes in this first 26 episode period, and I feel like it's a bad start to the rest of the year. You know what I mean? I feel like it's oh, there's already been two misses of sorts, But I hope you guys can bear with me here. I am kind of getting my feet under me as January begins. and I am going into doing these every day. I had a couple episodes stacked up last year to make sure I could start off the year well, because like New Year's Day, I'm out till 4 the night before. There's no way that's happening. You know, even the day after that, usually go away with some friends towards the beginning of the year. So like, I needed a couple days of leeway, but after that, I'm doing this daily, and I'm not used to recording daily. I gotta say, recording, which I think I've spoken about here a little bit, recording's always my least favorite part of the videos on the main channel. Recording has become actually my favorite part of the videos here though, which is fun. It's nice to have like me enjoy both sides of things, which is why this has been so great. But it does, by the same token, make it so that like I do have to get used to this, you know what I mean? Because I don't quite have the social battery to just like run at any time and do something like this. That's why I think people that do live streams are so utterly impressive to me, because that is it has to be the most difficult thing on earth. I can't even fathom it, man. Like to turn on a camera and just be on for 8 hours, and anyone can say anything to you as well. Like anyone could just fully say that you could get the most heinous thing said to you, and you have to just you're right in front of a camera as you react to it. You have to keep going. I'm just not that type of person, you know? I need to have like some editorial control of some sort, you know what I mean? I need to be like, what am I putting out? Why would I put this out? Is this good? You know, there have been full episodes of Paint and Talk that I've recorded and just been like, you know, I'm okay with having something like this where I'm like almost 10 minutes in and I'm kind of like not really getting on track yet. I'm fine with that, because I do think, you know, for the people that are here just to see the Paint and Talk and like maybe watch this out of routine or like just kind of like the vibe of the series, this is fine for that kind of person. And I think this is, you know, fun enough, valuable enough that I'll put it out. But I have recorded things where I'm directly just like, that wasn't good. Like that was really, you know, maybe I tried to do something a little more than I could and it didn't come out good. We all know about the famous easel situation. So I could not fathom being a live stream. But the point is, of this very long tangent again, you know, I am getting my feet under me with Paint and Talk. So please bear with me as I have a short episode or two here starting out. Soon enough, I'll be a couple days ahead of where the uploads are coming out, which I like more for multiple reasons. One of the reasons I like it more is because it detaches me from the Paint and Talk a little bit, which is something I really am trying to do with this series. When I first started doing like YouTube seriously, I've done it since I was a kid, like I think a lot of people have, but like when I first got on my first serious channel where I was getting traction, I did daily uploads. And the great thing about that is that like I didn't have time to think about the last upload, right? Because they were low effort. I was making them and like just throwing them out there. They were about anime and stuff. And it made it so I could detach myself from the upload of like, oh, that video flopped, keep it moving. Which I still can do to an extent with like shorts and things like that, which are fully made. I use like a program to get those out, so I don't really care about them quite as much. But something like this where like I do spend an hour editing it, I do spend 30 minutes recording it, you know, at least another 30 setting up for the recording, I can't help be a little bit more attached to the metrics of it, you know what I mean? And especially if I'm recording it and putting it out the next day, I find that I watch them a little bit harder, which just isn't good. That's never a good thing. You know, the goal is to paint and talk, not to paint, talk, and hope people love the painting and talking. I hope you do, but I can't focus on that too much because, you know, when you, I don't know, I feel like I might come off a little bit too self-centered saying this, but when you focus too much on the people watching the thing, it makes it really impossible, for me at least, to make something good. Because, you know, you need like communication, of course. You can't just like start veering off and making the dumbest things ever. But you also do need an extent of like, okay, like at the end of the day, I'm the one making this stuff. I need to stay 100% true to myself, or you're gonna end up making a bunch of stuff you don't want to make, you know? Becoming too audience controlled, too niche controlled, too like, I gotta do this thing. You know, I definitely have like almost fallen into that before. I remember after my one video did really well, my friend was like, okay, milk that, do that 10 more times. And I was like, no, like you gotta have yes, I should make things I think the same type of person would be interested in. Like, I make videos here on painting and talking. You know, if I want to switch it up maybe, and this year I'm doing kind of a challenge with it, but let's say next year I'm like, I want to sculpt for a week and do that. Yeah, I think a lot of the same people would be interested. If I were to go, okay, I'm going to play video games and talk now, though, that's a whole different, you know, that's just going to attract a different crowd. So you gotta be focused in that sense, but like, you still gotta be doing what's honest to you, because let's say I'm in that situation a year from now where I'm like, okay, I think sculpting's what I want to do now, and all anyone wants to see is the painting, but I don't want to paint. How many good, you know, things will you get if you're not passionate about something? Maybe you have 20 left in you if you're like really good, maybe 30 if you're like an expert, but eventually you burn out, you know, which is why I think it's so important to stay true to yourself. Once again, another long tangent in a way of saying I'm trying to detach myself from the process a little bit. When I'm 3, 4, 5 days ahead of where you guys are watching, it's good because it's like, it's good and bad. It's a double-edged sword because I like kind of being like, okay, this is what happened to me yesterday and you're hearing about this and that's awesome. I think that's like really cool. Kind of like I'm doing right now, where I'm just kind of like going off about my day and just like random stuff before I get into a main topic here. But I think also, like, I like that, but I think also it's good to be like, oh, like that flopped. I did that a week ago. I'm on to the next now. I'm like so far from that, you know, that I don't even remember making it. So I think there's good and bad. I got to get a little ahead here, which I think I said last time I did an episode similar to this. So, I mean, that's a bad omen now, isn't it? But no, I think this week I'll have the time between work and stuff to really get a little more ahead. But today, as for the topic, 12 minutes in now, I want to talk about this thing that, you know, I don't really have much to say about, but like I've just been thinking about it a lot, or maybe I've been thinking about it like subtly in the background. You know those things where you're not quite thinking about them, but like you know you're kind of having a problem with it, so you are thinking about it a little bit. And my issue today is like, how far do you go with the small pleasures in life? And I feel like that could be kind of a strange way to put that, so I want to rephrase it, or like kind of explain with an analogy here. I don't know if anyone remembers this. I don't know if the memes about it are still big, because I'm not too up to date on meme stuff anymore, because I'm not 14, but you know, there was this meme where it was like me getting myself a small treat for doing X. Like that was kind of the format of the meme. It was like there was a whole joke about like small, or like sweet treat culture, small treat culture. And I thought it was really interesting because like I totally do that. And the reason I still remember this meme is because me and my friends still reference it to this day. Like I'll call one of my friends and I'll be like, oh, what are you up to? And he'll be like, oh, I just finished, you know, folding my laundry and I figured I deserve a little cookie. Like things like that, right? And I'm someone who, unfortunately, this is something I really don't like about myself. I sort of like work in extremes a lot of the time, which is great for things like this, where, you know, it's fun and I get to record every day and I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and it ends up giving people more things to watch if they enjoy it. Like it's great for that, right? But it's also really bad for like the rest of my life in a lot of avenues, particularly diet, sleep schedules, how I work, which is something I might get into maybe in a future episode of Paint and Talk. You know, it's cool, but there's a lot of areas where it manifests itself really badly. And discipline is one of those areas of like, how much do I indulge myself? Because obviously we all enjoy a little cookie. We all enjoy a little sweet treat every now and again. I know for a lot of friends who are into, you know, like they smoke and stuff like that, they'll indulge in that, like a little treat every now and again, you know? And all these things are very valid. All these things are good. But like, for me, my problem is like, how do I separate it from like, I'm not doing this and I do this? How much do you give yourself a little treat until you're just like indulging? You know what I mean? And this is, as I'm saying this out loud, I realize it's like kind of a totally disconnected topic. Let me know if you guys relate to this at all, because it sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but like it is something I've genuinely been struggling with in my life, of like, how do I know the difference between like, okay, I'm I'm hanging out right now, and I'll have a little treat, and like it's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. What if I go get a slice of pizza? You know what I mean? Like, those are two very different things. And they're both in my head little sweet treats. And this even comes in other forms too, of like, sometimes what I like to do is I like to have a little cappuccino, right? I love a good cappuccino. They're the best thing ever. I love a little pastry. They're the best thing ever. Mainly cappuccinos are where I struggle though. I drink a ton of coffee. I have a raging caffeine addiction. I think I've spoken about this a lot. And I try and drink black coffee. I heard this great advice once where it was like, you're gonna drink coffee your whole life, you should learn to drink it black, because if you need milk and sugar, that's like a ton of calories, you know what I mean? So I drink it black. Hated it at first. I like it now. I mean, like, you know, I'm not gonna act like milk and sugar doesn't taste way better because it's just a sweet treat at the end of the day. But I like black coffee, so I drink that. And I also love cappuccinos though. I love a cappuccino with no sugar, just milk, and whole milk, of course, because I don't get the whole oat milk thing. Almond milk leaves a weird texture in my mouth. And soy milk, I've only ever had vanilla flavored soy milk. Strange, I know, right? But that's how the cookie crumbles. Is that the phrase? That's how the water boils, maybe? I don't know, but that's how that goes. And you know, I struggle with this because it's like, I love cappuccinos, and whenever I discover how easy they are to make again, I'm like, oh, like I can have some cappuccinos every day now. You know what I mean? I can use my coffee machine, get myself a little cappuccino. And what's great about cappuccinos, if you don't know, so a cappuccino is a shot of espresso with milk filling up the rest of the thing. But since you can make smaller shots of espresso, you can make a cappuccino that's like 5 times the caffeine of a normal coffee. And that is great for people like me who are tired all the time because of their caffeine addiction, and cure that tiredness with more caffeine. It's awesome for us. Us guys like that love it, where it's our favorite thing ever. And okay, so that was weird. I don't know if that picked up on camera. I just like did a weird twirl and like touched the brush. Oh my god, and I did it again. Okay, we're gonna just... And I touched another brush. This is a terrible display for these brushes. But my problem is like I overindulge then, you know what I mean? I don't have, and I think maybe this is my problem. This is also part of the reason why I'll never touch why I am sober, which is something that I think has come up like way too much in Paint and Talk. I don't like talking about it quite that much, but I guess I am here every day. Of course it's gonna come up. It's a, you know, somewhat major part of my life. But that's one of the reasons I'm sober, is because I have the most addictive personality of anyone I know. Anyone I know? Wait, let me think. Except for like, no, I'd say probably. Yeah, no, I think I do. I think I probably do have the most addictive personality out of anyone I know. And like, I don't know, it's just not, it's not conducive to sweet treat culture. I think maybe that's my problem. Because I do think this is a problem only I have. Because my friends, they're able to just sweet treat it out and be completely fine with it. And, you know, they can give themselves a sweet treat for anything. And my treats, I think my problem is like my treats come habitually, right? So I do this thing every now and again where I tend to get very tired around like 1 p.m.-ish. I need like a little intermission, and then I can come back, and by like 3 p.m. I'm back to work for the day, right? It just, I think it's partially because I'm always tired and have a caffeine addiction, but it's just something I'm used to at this point, right? And something I do every day now that has become too much of a habit is I'll turn on, oh my god, I thought I just got paint all over myself. I fully might have, and I won't know till I stand up. Something I do is I'll get a bag of Skinny Pop popcorn, little sweet treat. I'll get a Diet Pepsi, huge Diet Pepsi fan. And I've been a fan since before that Addison Rae song came out too. So I'm kind of a big fan, if you will. And I'll sit back and I'll watch some TV or a movie. Right now I'm watching Twin Peaks. I'm about to finish it. Amazing. Oh my god, I just watched Eraserhead yesterday too. Really interesting stuff. Yeah, really interesting. I'm trying to watch some of I think I've mentioned this in a previous episode. I'm trying to watch a little bit of the David Lynch stuff because, you know, he passed recently, and I'd only ever seen bits and pieces of like things here and there. So I checked out Eraserhead after watching Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks, most of it. I'm about to finish it, and I really thought it was interesting. So I know a lot of people, like, I don't think anyone's favorite movie is Eraserhead, from what I've seen. When I was trying to figure out, like, what's the deal with this movie before I watched it, because sometimes I do that just so I know what I should go in expecting of, like, what is this movie? Do people tend to like it? So maybe I'll check out, like, a spoiler-free review before I watch something, just to get some context, you know? Like, I got some important context for this one of, like, the movie's not going to totally make sense. I know I've seen interviews of David Lynch saying it's more of an abstract painting than a direct plot, right? It took him 5 years to make it. It was his first movie. He didn't have the whole plot planned out before he got to the final cut. Like, these things I like to know before I go in and watch something. I think I can appreciate it more. And I thought it was really interesting. I don't think I would say, like, this is where I have trouble because I don't know what it quite means when I say I like something. Because I think I liked it. It was so cool because it was like, I didn't really get what was going on all the way. Like, I got the general gist of, like, this guy's girlfriend is pregnant and they have a baby and it's a weird little baby and it's this weird little guy. But, like, outside of that, there's nothing, like, that I could pick up outside of that, right? And that's why I'll say, like, I didn't get it, but I know it was good. Like, I could tell it was really great, even though I didn't totally get what was going on. It was just really well done. And it was also very enthralling. You know what it felt like to me that I thought was interesting? And maybe this is me totally pulling something out of nowhere that's, like, so unrelated, but to me it felt the same as when I read the old H.P. Lovecraft stories. When I was like 13, 14, I got really into Lovecraft for like 2 years, and I read a lot of his stuff, still like his stuff. Definitely an interesting writer, and I think it was just so... There's such a, like, I mean, Lovecraftian is an adjective for a reason. There's a very unique feeling to it. And I know Lynchian is its own adjective that people have, but I will say that Eraserhead felt Lovecraftian almost. Like, I got the vibe in it of a cosmic horror. It almost felt, so I talk a lot about how, like, the personal becomes universal. And I think that, like, what he almost did was he took, like, the most personal thing of, like, the circle of life, of someone having a child, and, like, them going through love and all that. It's a very personal story about this guy, and he made it universal almost in scale. And I think, I don't know, that's how I felt about it, though. Like, that's kind of the vibe I got. And I think what's really interesting, and this is why I think I enjoyed it so much, is you can project anything onto that movie. And I know he said this himself in interviews where he's like, one of the things that I really like about, like, making movies that are more abstract, he said, is like he lets people feel out their own meaning, their own story with the movie. And I think that's kind of what I got. And I think about that a lot, about how, like, everything around us is so personal and intimate, yet so big at the same time. And I feel like I got that, almost like a duality of scale. And that's why it felt like a cosmic horror to me, because it almost felt existential in that regard. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass now. But that's the vibe I got when I was watching it, and I really liked it for that reason. Check out my letterbox to see reviews that are not good. Because I don't watch that many movies, but really an interesting movie. I'm gonna watch more of the stuff, more of the movies, you know, coming up. Anyways, guys, we finished the painting here today. 2 things before I head out. Two things. 1, I'm gonna start clickbaiting. Kind of. I don't think I am, but I might do, like... Actually, no, I'm just not gonna start clickbaiting. I don't know where that came from. Because I want to do, like, 1 or 2 of these on, like, self-improvement, because I have so many thoughts on it, but I'm never making a video about it because I don't want to be the guy making a video essay think piece on self-improvement, because I already was the guy making the video essay think piece on social media and culture, and that was already that was a bad guy to be. Like, I didn't, like, did I have thoughts and I wanted to share them? Yes, totally. Did I execute the video well? Like, 75% of what I wanted it to be, but it was still, like, bad in a lot of other ways. And then I was the guy making a video on why culture is bad right now, which is just like who is that guy? That's me now, and I don't like that, right? So I'm not making a video on why self-improvement sucks, so I'm going to discuss that in the Paint&Talk very soon. And I know that stuff pops off, so that's why I'm clickbaiting with that. I don't know why I felt the need to announce that. 2, and this is where I want your thoughts, if no one comments, or if it's not like an overwhelming no, I'm probably gonna go ahead and try it. I wanna try putting gameplay under the Paint and Talk shorts I'm putting up. I use a program to do them, and I originally wanted to do it where you could see me talking and the painting at the same time, but I realized when I'm talking, the painting is just a blank canvas, and when I'm not talking, or when I'm painting, I'm just like this, so you're just seeing the top of my head anyways, so that's bad. And also, I don't know how to do that in the program I use to make these. I put up a ton of shorts and TikToks and stuff, and Reels, so I don't have the time also to do that without this program, right? Which is like, some of them are really bad sometimes, I'm really sorry about that, I'm working on that. I'm trying to fix that. In the interim, sorry, just ignore them. You watch these, so you can ignore those, right? They're the same thing at the end of the day. Which some people haven't figured it out, which is also really weird. Some people, I don't know why people aren't putting 2 and 2 together. Anyways though, I'm thinking of putting the gameplay under them, because I like watching shorts like that, but I realize that when you're scrolling, your attention span, like a lot of our attention spans are already kind of cooked, right? And I think that when you're scrolling, it's almost like you're even more cooked because you're in the middle of cooking your brain. You know what I mean? Like, almost how like it feels like you're intoxicated when you're scrolling. That's how it feels to me, at least, and that I know my attention span goes right out the window. It's already not great, right? Which you can probably tell by the amount of tangents in the average Paint and Talk episode. So I like listening to stuff like that, but I like listening to it while there's something else to look at too. So I'm thinking of doing the gameplay with it, because I like watching that. If it's an overwhelming no, I won't do it, because I know there's definitely stigmas around that. But I'm thinking of doing it. I really am thinking of doing it, because it's what I like watching. I also know, like, for stuff like this, where it is somebody just talking to a camera, like, I will be doing something else whenever I'm watching it. So I feel like it kind of fits with, like, how I would use this series. So it's definitely, like, an honest decision to do it. I just don't want to do it if it's, like, a terribly unpopular thing. So just let me know about that. If anyone has made it to this point in the video and is very passionate about the state of my reels, let me know. Outside of that, I've saved this announcement for the end because I am extremely scared to mention it. I'm trying something new with my hair. It's a slight side part, but that's all we're going to address that because it's a whole other thing. It's a whole other topic. For now, go to the Instagram, check out this painting. Very simple painting today, nice colors, and it looks nice. Until tomorrow, what did I even discuss? Oh, have a little treat, I discussed that for maybe 3 minutes of today's runtime. So go do it. I mean, that's the title probably, but like I didn't discuss it, so you have a sweet treat and discuss it for me.